So speaking of signatures, 2,000 of them are now in the hands of Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser. Each signature, someone's request that there be an independent investigation into the police killing of 19-year-old Devon Bailey in Colorado Springs. First, talk about this. This was the armed robbery case. Officers responding that day shot Bailey in the back 3 times. The petition given to the AG makes a frequent objection to these post-shooting investigations like these. They say that the investigators are too close to the agency involved, that they work together all the time, so they should not be investigating each other. The petition wants the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, or the FBI, to handle it. Colorado Springs police pretty quickly released body cam video of that shooting, shortly after some civilian security video that raised real questions about how that shooting went down. Tonight, we get some fresh analysis of the video from a police trainer who testifies in cases like this. He told our Steve Steger he would have done the same thing as those officers.
We're going to just check and make sure that you don't have a weapon, all right?
This video has now gone national. A 19-year-old running away from police, shot in the back repeatedly.
It's one of the most inherently dangerous situations for an officer to be involved with.
I spoke with Ed Obayashi via Skype. As a former cop, he is admittedly pro-cop, but he's also an expert on police use of force. In addition to the fact that Devon Bailey was shot in the back, he wants you to consider 3 distinct elements of this body camera footage. Number 1.
What are your names?
The approach.
The primary officer, the contact officer, initially is exercising a more of what today is fashionably called a de-escalated approach.
Responding to an armed robbery call and seeing 2 men who fit the description of the suspects, the officers could have responded weapons drawn. They chose not to. Number 2.
So we got a contact that keep your hands out of your pockets.
Police told Bailey to keep his hands away from his pockets. Bailey responds by keeping his eyes on the officers approaching from behind. When one gets too close, he runs. At this point, he looks again.
No doubt the DA, the investigators are analyzing this video frame by frame and slow motion, etc. But you see clearly that Mr. Bailey looks over his right shoulder.
And 3, this motion. His right hand moves toward his waistband. It's at this moment the officers begin shooting.
The courts have recognized there was no time for an officer to think in these situations. They have to rely on what they are perceiving.
Last week, the El Paso County Sheriff handed off the investigation to the El Paso County DA. The DA said the investigation could take 3 to 4 months before reaching a decision as to whether or not the shooting was justified, Kyle.
And when we look at what could have been different in that incident, everybody, of course, is going to fixate on the last moment of the video, the shooting. But your expert told you that the way the officers approached the scene could have been escalated from the approach that they took.
I thought that was fascinating perspective. If you watch the video, you see the officer approach them just kind of gently, no weapon drawn. Ed Obayashi says they technically could have come in weapons drawn because this is a call that was an armed robbery call where they suspected someone had a gun. It was in their training and all in their right to approach with weapons drawn. And it raises the question if that would have changed the outcome of this.
Yeah, and clearly nobody was satisfied with that. All right. Thank you, Steve.